Read about the things that happen throughout the world. Don't believe in everything you see or hear. Read all about it. Read all about it. Listen to the world. Listen to the world. Read all about it. Read all about it. Listen to the world. Listen to the world.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, we're back. Hello and welcome to the first in a new series of Mock the Week. I'm Dara Breen. Joining me this week, give a huge welcome to Andy Parsons, Jan Ravens and Russell Howard, Frankie Boy, Hugh Dennis and Michael McIntyre. We'll start straight off with the sexiest story, ladies and gentlemen. It's headliners. Here's a picture of Prime Minister Gordon Brown settling into his new office. Wow, feel the energy drain out of the room. What does GBTC stand for?
Is it give Blair this cyanide?
Is it actually give back Tony's cup?
Is it Grumpy Bunny takes control?
Is it
That's
Gordon's...
a sex toy, is it? Sorry.
Is it...
You got the new Grumpy Bunny. It's hideous, seriously.
It doesn't much vibrate as much as just shrug.
Here's an all...
Is it Gordon's butler, the Claw?
Gordon Brown Termite Cathedral. His body has been used as a place of worship by Britain's termite community. Is it that?
Hang on, no, let me check.
Is it more down...
No.
The Gordon Brown takes charge, takes
It's
control.
absolutely the correct answer. Well done, Hugh. There you go. Yes, the answer I was looking for was, of course, Gordon Brown takes charge. This refers to the long-awaited handover of power from Tony Blair to his former Chancellor at the end of June. Are you all enjoying Gordon Brown? Having fun with him?
He's stunningly dull.
I
Can you imagine what the party was like when he took power? Dry crackers all round and a video of outtakes from songs of praise. This isn't Psalm 53. I think they should do what they do with boring cartoon characters and give him like a little sidekick. It's like a disco dancing raccoon, maybe. What's that, Chippy? You want me to put VAT on children's clothing? Well, you're the boss. I like the fact that he'd blame his unpopularity on Chippy.
Or would Chippy be constantly moonwalking behind him out of view? He should walk forward and then back in again. That's the way Chippy works.
Yeah, pretty much.
OK.
He does look pretty uncomfortable, doesn't he, Gordon Brown? And I think that's because not a lot of people know he's actually blind in one of his eyes. And I think so, as people do know that he should wear a little patch. You see, nobody would muck with Britain then, would they? If we were run by a pirate... The trouble is, he wouldn't be some sort of swashbuckling sort of Jack Sparrow thing, would he? He'd look more, with a patch, he'd look more like the bear from Children in Need. We'd have the Right Honourable Pudsey running the country.
Does that mean that there would have been meetings between Blair, Brown and Blunkett and only 3 good eyes in that room?
The worst thing about that is, the other thing is...
Blair could have run in the blind spot while they were chatting. And Brown could be going, I can't wait for him to go, I've never liked him, I'm going to overthrow him. And he's like, surprise, I was here all along, you didn't see me.
But the other thing about that cabinet was that Jack Straw has tinnitus, so he can't hear anything. So he's just got a constant buzzing in his head. So it's a blind man, a half-blind man, and a man with tinnitus.
It's like the Wizard of Oz or something.
They should all join forces like Optimus Prime did to create his one true self.
Hazel Blair's
jump
a
into each
munchkin,
other.
isn't she? Hazel Blair's is only about so high. Hazel Blair's makes all her speeches from down there, doesn't she? She's like kind of pint-sized Hazel Blair.
It's like she's pint-sized, she's really, really small, and he only has one eye, so therefore no depth perception. He must think she's a long way away all the time.
What's confusing me slightly about Gordon Brown, though, is that everybody said he's had a very good start as Prime Minister, but in the time he's been Prime Minister, we've had an interest rate rise. It hasn't stopped raining, and we've been attacked by terrorists.
Yes, it hasn't been a great start in some ways, but yet also it's been perfect. You know, he gets to look prime ministerial while the world's most inept terrorists attack in a really arse from elbow not knowing kind of way. Where they go to a barbecue shop and buy some nails and think by some magical potion they will become a bomb if you phone them often enough from your mobile phone.
They're sort of like clown terrorists. Yeah. All the doors fall off their car. The next attack will be by two guys knocking each other over with a big plank of Semtex.
But that's it with the phone. What is it? They set the bombs off by mobile. This is quite dangerous, surely, if you get... are they panicking? Wrong numbers? Could this happen?
Does that mean if they ring... Is it their mobile has the... If they ring your mobile, it explodes?
Or if you're trying to phone someone, you're like, is Derek there? And like, no, this is detonator. Never phone here. You must not text or phone this number. Hello, is that NHS Direct? Once, maybe. Not anymore. Now I have moved into terror.
Now, there's a fallacy that what happened here was that hundreds of people were saved from being horribly burnt. But these were Scottish people flying to Spain. They're going to come back looking like they've been bungee jumping in a volcano.
If anything, the one day's delay in the holiday has saved them even more.
Apparently they were all doctors, and it was probably that, you know, one of them wrote out the sort of prescription for how to make the bomb, and none of the others could read it.
It is a damning indictment of the NHS, the sheer lack of quality of bomb making. It really is.
It's no surprise they work for the NHS. They may have learnt to put bombs together, but it was in the NHS that they learned to miss their targets.
But there is, you know, I do have to say one thing. While we discuss this, the guy in flames running around Glasgow Airport shouting, Allah is good. On that one, we have to just say he may have been looking for a fast bag drop, and it all just...
What was great? Who knows if someone's on flames, what they're shouting? I mean, they said it was Allah. It might have been, Apparently he now has his mobile phone melted into his body. Although on the bright side, he is now much easier to get hold of. He should change his ringtone to Disco Inferno.
Frankly...
The best thing to come out of all the terror attacks, 2 days after the attack on Tiger, did you see who went there? Stephen Hawkins. How fantastic is that, just from nowhere? I would like to go to Tiger. And then kind of go, well, that's fantastic, Stephen. You're not afraid of the terrorists? No, it's full of slags. You know? I like to picture him rocking up, plugging himself into the sound system and just going, when I say tiger, you say rah, tiger, rah, tiger, rah. That probably didn't happen, but I like it.
The NHS link has been drawn by a number of papers. The Evening Standard ran a contrast between the number of people accused of terrorism in the NHS and the fact that junior doctors are finding it very difficult to get jobs at the moment under this ridiculous recruitment scheme. And they ran a headline which you could have gone, isn't it ironic? A gentle type of headline going with strange days that we live in. Instead, they ran with this headline, which isn't in any way scary. NHS revolving door of terror! And which at first glance you're going, well, they should just wedge that shut, really. Rather having people, like, you know, with like those kind of saline drips just walking around at 360 degrees, constantly going, where does the door stop? Like...
Do you still, even at your age, when you go through the door and you enter, just sometimes go on for one more loop just for the hell of it?
Have you ever misjudged it slightly and found yourself wedged up, ramming yourself into the man in front and hoping that we can please get to the opening now, because I'm just...
Get to the opening?
By the way, with the new Prime Minister, why, incidentally, were we still discussing the Blair government this week?
Because it was only last week that he went.
No, seriously, why are we still discussing the Blairs this week?
It was Alistair Campbell's
Oh, yeah.
diary.
Indeed it was. I mean, they've just finished on this very channel.
It'd be great if he did it in the style of Alan Bennett, wouldn't it? Just reading the diary. Tony came in and said, we're going to war. Oh, no, felt I, and went out for vegetables.
But it's actually it's a really dull diary, isn't it? He apparently has left out 4/5 of his actual diary because he doesn't want to give David Cameron any ammunition against Gordon Brown.
Yeah, then why release them now? Why not wait 10 years, 20 years?
Well, exactly, but he...
Because he won't make as much money.
Yeah, this is true. That's exactly. I suppose the question was less rhetorical than I expected. Really. Once I said it, there was actually quite a straightforward answer to that particular question.
He's actually sexed down his own dossier.
What was the most embarrassing thing for Brown in it?
Oh, he was stuck in the toilet, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was when they were deciding who was going to take over from John Smith.
Who's stuck in the loo?
Brown got trapped
stuck in the loo.
toilet. The bathroom, not in the toilet.
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
When they were deciding...
Like on an airplane because the suction dragged him down. He's scraping, looking for purchase to drag him to
He really likes that bit from Trainspotting. coming over.
He got stuck in a bathroom and he had to make a mobile phone call to Blair. And Blair had to go and put the key to the window and he had to hand the key out to her.
Aren't diaries a sort of weird way to present information in the modern world? Today we lied about our reasons for going to war. Oh look, it's Pancake Tuesday.
At the end of that round, the points go to Hugh, Frankie and Michael! Now we play a round called NHS Revolving Door of Happiness. This game involves Michael, Andy, Frankie and Russell, so if you can make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our high-tech news generator and it randomly settles on a topic and anyone can volunteer some jokes about the chosen subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. It's travel. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Now then, it is quite tricky, isn't it, travelling at the moment? You go over to America, they actually fingerprint you now, ladies and gentlemen, but only 2 of your fingers. So provided you've used only 8 fingers to commit a crime, you should be absolutely fine. America, of course, the self-styled home of democracy, when at the moment their current president is the son of a previous president, and it looks like their next president may well be the wife of a previous president. What a democracy, hey, ladies and gentlemen? Say what you like about Britain, but I think we're unlikely to elect Mark Thatcher or Norma Major.
Thank you very much, Andy. Right, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is relationships. Yeah, that means relationships, that picture there.
Yes, I am in a relationship with my wife. Thank you. We've married for 3 years and we've been together for 8 in total. And supposedly this is enough for her to say to me the other day, quite by surprise, she says, I want to try this thing. My friends have done it. I've seen it on the TV. It's really good fun. Just say you'll do it. I'm like, I don't know what to do, so I can't really agree to that. Just say you'll do it! So I thought, OK, well, I don't want this to be a row. I haven't really said anything yet. So I said, fine, what is it? She said, great! We can write a list. It really took me by surprise of 5 people we're allowed to sleep with. From outside of the marriage. I thought, are you joking? Are you serious about this? It's really good fun! I've already done my list. OK, fine. So I humoured her, so I compiled this list. She gives me her list. I just wanted to run it by you girls, because I felt it was kind of predictable. There were no surprises, usual suspects. George Clooney was number 1 on the list. Brad Pitt was on the list. Justin Timberlake was on the list. She's like, give me your list, give me your list. So I give her my list. Number 1, your sister.
Well done, Michael. Thank you very much. OK, Russell and Frankie are left. The next topic is men's health is the next topic, as represented by the knee. The window on the man's soul, the knee.
3 times in my life I've been convinced I've got testicular cancer. Every single time it's been an ingrowing hair. It's, yeah, funny. It's getting to the stage I need something terminal just to stop me looking like a massive pervert. You know, there's no way of getting comfy when you're having your balls checked, because the doctor's like, obviously my balls aren't that big. If you sat there and go, well, you do appear to have a problem, Mr. Howard. You appear to have camel's gonads. But you don't know where to put your hands, you know? You can't sort of do that or anything. I toyed with the idea of doing that firmly. I wish I'd been courageous enough just to go...
Thank you very much for your time. Well, now that we've comprehensively dealt with the topic of men's health, Frankie, let's see what you've been left with. I'm guessing sport.
They say that the Olympics is going to rekindle English national pride. I mean, come on, for 9.2 billion, you could have written "fuck off Germany" onto the moon. It's good they're holding the Olympics in the East End of London. It means the athletes will have to use extra skill to work out which of the gunshots they heard was the starting pistol. Glasgow's getting in the act. Glasgow's bidding for the Commonwealth Games. Be good to finally see an international athletics event with a crowd fail a drugs test. The East End of Glasgow is already like an Olympic village. Lots of people who struggle to speak English wandering around in tracksuits.
Thank you, boys. And Ian Russell gets the point to that one. Come back down. Our next round is called Newsreel. We play in a piece of footage featuring people in the news and ask Hugh and Jan to suggest what's being said. This week, the Queen hosts the Arsenal team.
Or maybe if I hide behind this door, she will never see me, so... bollocks.
Hello, you're from the Renault commercials. Va-va-voom.
That is very funny, your Madge. Let me introduce you to the players. This is Julio. It's easier.
Why has he got his hand on his halfpenny like that?
He's expecting a free kick of some sort. This is
Not in the penalty
Gilberto
box now.
and Edmilson. They are Brazilian.
Oh, I like a Brazilian. Philip prefers a welcome mat.
Yes,
but,
the old...
yeah.
Anyway, this is Jens. He is German, like you.
Yes, we don't talk about that.
And this is Freddie. He is our best-looking player, but he has never married.
Oh, I think I saw him at one of Edward's parties, actually. Now, look, I want to know... I found this in my attic, as a matter of fact. I wonder if you could tell me if it's worth it.
Well, £30, possibly 30, 20... No, look. Oh, gosh, it's worth about £5.
He told me 40 quid, the bastard.
That is quite ridiculous. You see, those things, they are available on eBay for maybe £2, £3.50. That includes the packaging. They're worth nothing, Your Majesty. Don't talk to the Queen like that. What do you mean? I tell you, people like you, where I come from, we rounded them up. And then we took them outside and we chopped their heads off.
Well done to Hugh and Jan. Next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Jan, which category would you like?
Oh, I think environment.
OK. Category is environment. The answer is over 31,000 tonnes. What is the question?
Is it the weight of the first ever mobile phone?
If you sell fertiliser, what size order should make you suspicious?
If that bomb had gone off, how much cellulite would be spattered across central Scotland? Oh, have you had the place Pebble Dash? No, terrorist attack.
How much weight has Charlotte Church put on in pregnancy?
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
Rose.
Yeah.
When Tony Blair was asked how many Iraqis he'd killed, what was his callous reply?
Would anyone like to please make us out with the correct answer?
Is it, I think I read this somewhere, is it the carbon footprint of live Earth?
Yeah. That's absolutely right. Well done, Frankie. Very good. Yes, The question I was looking for is, what is the estimated size of live Earth's carbon footprint? This is a calculation done by carbonfootprint.com that, taking into account travel by artists and spectators and energy consumption on the day, the live Earth concerts were responsible for 31,500 tonnes of carbon emissions. Frankly, that's a bit whiny, though, all the same, to go, yeah, they flew in. I really do hate that kind of criticism. There's many things to criticise Duran Duran for, but...
Come on, Sting flew in to tell me to stop overfilling my kettle. Well, to be honest, I watched Enrico Iglesias, right, in Live Earth, and I would have been happy for the Earth to explode.
What's the weirdest thing? It's Madonna telling you to reduce your carbon footprint. You're like, well, stop flying to buy your children. Just nip down the road and get them. Christ.
Yeah, the dollar's fallen. She could buy them in New Orleans.
They said I read this thing, it said if you miss one wash a week, you save 5,000 litres of water per year.
God bless tramps.
It's amazing. They're doing their bit for the environment.
One of the facts that I found quite interesting was apparently cows farting is a real problem.
Yes.
Apparently,
it always has been.
cows let out 400 litres of methane. They're saying, oh, well, we should all become vegetarian. We shouldn't have so much cattle. But I'm thinking, surely that's part of the problem. Cows are vegetarian, isn't it? If we all become vegetarian as well, we'll be trumping ourselves to oblivion.
I've looked into it, you know, and I'm quite optimistic about our future environmentally, because I think just at the point where Britain bursts into flames, it's going to be hit by a tidal wave. I think what would be great would be in 20 years' time, if the whole Earth bursts into flames and just in our last moments we see a giant alien hand come down with a marshmallow.
Oh, it's so difficult to get one of these going, but it's worth it.
We just had the wettest June since records began, which is my favourite expression. Because there's this time, it refers to this time when records began. Before there were records, people didn't know what on earth was going on. People just walk outside, it feels different to yesterday. In what way? Are you writing this down? I'm not writing this down. What did you write it down? What about you? You have a pen. I'm busy, I'm drawing, I'm creating. Is somebody going to keep these records? Then somebody thought, fine, enough, I will do this. Records have begun. Now, that first year must have been quite a record-breaking year, don't you think? Every day, another one tumbling.
How did the natural world cause problem for the financial world this week?
This was great. This was the bloke who tried to rob a bank wearing a tree branch. He dressed up as an ent, effectively, hadn't he?
It was almost drama classes. Be a tree, be a tree.
But be a tree who wants to rob a bank. This is him. This is him. He wrapped leaves.
He got completely the wrong idea of what camouflage meant.
I love the fact he didn't get rid of his moustache. That's what's fantastic. I'll just leave that.
He walked to the counter wrapped in leaves like this.
God.
Like, you know, like some sort of god of nature.
He seems to have queued up as well.
He did. Oh, yeah, he stood in line. With the guy behind him going, well, I'm going to hang around.
Is anyone just paying in cheques?
So what was his idea
robbing.
then? Was his idea that he'd run out of there, stand very still at the roadside, and nobody would find him till autumn?
Where's he gone? Yeah. They'll never find me here. And then a bird comes along and pecks him. No! Fine.
You know, they're always supposed to, aren't they, dress up as American presidents. They're supposed to have the mask. Maybe somebody suggested that he'd dress up as Bush, and he completely misunderstood what was going on.
What other form of eco-friendly travel was in the news this week?
Was it the Tour de France?
It was, of course, the Tour de France.
Hugh, tell him what you're doing.
What are you doing?
I'm not cycling this. I'm cycling a stage of the Tour de France.
You're not.
The day before you're
I
supposed to come
cycle
in
an
here.
amateur stage of the Tour de France.
But
I'm cycling with the other 169 good cyclists. I'm cycling with 6,000 Frenchmen.
When you say amateur stage, have you got stabilisers on either side?
Where is it?
Well, it's in France, strangely enough.
Why are they in France now? How do they get to France?
Cycling, Michael!
How do they get across the channel?
They've been on a ferry. They're there now. They're in
Do they
Belgium.
pedalo?
Yeah.
Well, do they all get off the bikes and jump on pedals?
OK, David Attenborough, in honour of his exertions next week, I'll give that round. I think we'll go to Frankie, Michael, and maybe to Hugh, ladies and gentlemen. Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can make your way over to the performance area, please. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject tonight is unlikely things to hear at Wimbledon.
New balls developing on both the Williams sisters.
Well, this crowd have really taken this young Serbian girl to their hearts. They obviously don't know her father's a war criminal.
Would the working class family on Henman Hill kindly leave? Putting the middle classes off their strawberries, you know who you are, you filthy mudbloods.
A dog has run onto the court and it's beaten Tim Henman.
Now, here's a question, John. Nadal, could he turn you?
There's no strawberries left, you'll have to have chips.
Well, you know, in a way, this rain could be taken as God's judgment on how shit we are at tennis.
As the Scottish man holds the Wimbledon trophy aloft, the earth opens and swallows him whole.
Cliff Richard's there with a wonderful rendition of Dr. Dre's Bitches Ain't Shit.
Oh, my goodness, that's a double fault. One for being a woman, the other for being German.
It has just come to our attention that Tim Henman's father died 6 Wimbledons ago and has been sitting there with the same look of disappointment ever since.
The next topic is what a newsreader would never say.
The football scores now, so you might want to look away if you're a woman or a gay.
Good evening, here is the news. I'm Moira Stewart. Why did the BBC sack me? Is it because I is black?
Just watching that press conference, I wouldn't be surprised if it was her stepfather that did it.
Here's the news at 10. I'm Fiona Bruce. Standing up or behind a desk, it's all the same to me.
Press the red button now to operate the vibrating donut I've placed in my trousers. Please.
You've sent in your emails and we've been reading them, and my, aren't you a bunch of racist bigots?
If you've taped that earthquake to enjoy later and don't want to know how many died, look away now.
Wimbledon news now, and Tim Henman, you know the rest.
News just in. I'm HIV positive.
Well, time for your own regional news now. I'm off for a dump. See you in 10.
At the end of that round, the points go to Frankie, Hugh and Michael! Come on back. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Frankie Boyle, Hugh Dennis and Michael McIntyre. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, John Ravens and Russell Howard. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Good night.
Keep It Comedy next on BBC Two, blasting off for a brand new series. The crew are back with Hyperdrive. Then Pensioners with Attitude. Jack and Victor return, losing their cool in the heat. Still game at 10.